Episode 6 of Elite Season 7, titled Rock Bottom, begins with Sarah throwing Chloe under the bus and even insulting her. She says that Chloe posted the video with Raul just like her sex tape, likes to film her conquests, and hates herself. Chloe confronts Sarah, who says it was all for her narrative. Chloe is furious and tells Sarah to stay away. Joel asks Omar if he needs space and is ready to do whatever is needed. Omar feels guilty about Ivan, but Joel says they will get together when the time is right. Luis overhears Isa trying to patch up with Didac. However, his partner tells him to shut it down or she will report him for illegal wiretapping. Sonia asks Omar about bad people and if they should help them while looking at Chloe. He says they should help regardless. Meanwhile, Martin manipulates Isa into signing off on an eviction as she owns the property of a complex which is supposedly in bad shape. Dalmar shows up and tells Omar and Joel that there is a court order to evict in 10 days as they will tear down the building. Omar soon realizes that the building is owned by Isa. While picking her up from school, Carmen ignores Ivan and guesses that Chloe is upset. They have a girls' day and Carmen helps her ignore the trolls cyberbullying her. Raul confronts Sarah about her reaction video and gets aggressive. She defends herself and twists his arm. She says they will both go down as he threatens to go to the cops about Ivan. She leaves and looks relieved. Nico and his parents come home to Eric baking naked. Nico tries to help but Eric pushes him and he hits his head. Eric apologizes but Nico tells him to get therapy if he wants to stay with them. At the reopening of the club, Martin says he is proud of Isa taking care of the company, and she is happy for his approval. However, Joel, Dalmar and Omar confront her and Didac calms them down as they say the building is fine. Didac talks to Isa alone, telling her to stand up for herself instead of falling for her father's scam. He also points out that the court order is signed by Duran. He tells her that the Isa he knew would never make her friends homeless. Martin tries to interrupt but Isa sends him away. Ivan goes to Carmen's and tries to talk to her. She says she messed up and to keep it a secret. However, Chloe hears it. As Eric and Nico head to the club, the former promises to get help. He then calls a friend to ask if he can stay at his place as it is his last night at his cousin's. Unable to convince Isa, Didac tells Rocio about her mother taking bribes. Meanwhile, Martin, Isa and Duran make a toast for the eviction success. Duran says it is the last favor as she is uncomfortable but Martin says he calls the shots. Observing it all, Isa orders to stop the eviction. At the bar, Chloe gets drunk and Ivan worries for her. She says she only screws and gets screwed. She learned from her mother who is also his mother. Shocked, he goes to her place and tears up on seeing Carmen from afar. Meanwhile, a drunk Chloe makes out with some boys while Raul watches. He approaches her and she gets scared that he may hit her for the video. He says he has no fight with her. Instead, he takes care of her and sympathizes as he says Sarah brings out the worst in people and that she doesn't deserve it. She says he doesn't have to sweet talk her to sleep with her. He just smiles and then makes an apology video. He says that he and Sarah were over and no one cheated. He also says he likes Chloe and asks his followers to respect her. She is touched and tries to sleep with him. He stops her and says he wants to do the right thing by taking it slow. She tells him not to play mind games with her, and he says he will wait till she is not scared of him. Rocio spots her mother and confronts but Duran lies. Rocio doesn't believe her and cries alone. Eric spots her and comforts her. She is upset that she cannot trust her own family while Nico genuinely loves Eric. Eric gets uncomfortable as he says that one day even Nico will abandon him. Rocio reprimands him for being negative and says he is worth the love he gets. He smiles and they kiss. Meanwhile, Martin threatens Didac to not get between him and Isa. Pau interrupts as he has orders from their father to keep an eye on him. Didac says it is unnecessary as he has broken up with Isa. However, This upsets Pao as he says Didac could have been a double agent as ISA is now calling the shots in the underworld. The next day, Dalmar joyously reveals to Joel and Omar that the eviction has been reversed. Maria worries that Eric is missing, but he shows up and decides to get help. At the end of Elite Season 7 Episode 6, Didac rants to Luis about his family and Martin getting in between him and ISA. Luis shows his badge and says they can take down Martin together and promises not to target ISA or his family. Didac is pumped up and agrees to help record his private conversations for Luis. The episode review. Okay, Sarah, we talked about standing up for yourself, not throwing another woman under the bus. Especially one that helped you. But it is not Elite without some drama as evidenced in Elite Season 7 Episode 6. And is Raul genuinely getting better? But he needs to be punished first. Come on, you can't give us a redemption arc without some satisfying retribution. By the way, not Isadora's father doing the same thing her mother is. Using her, putting her down, and manipulating her into thinking she is taking her own decisions when they are pulling all the strings. But what is worse is that Martin pretends that he trusts ISA. At least Roberta is frank. The Mafia storyline is getting pretty engaging, and with only 2 episodes left, we wonder how they are going to resolve this mess.